I have to start by saying I love your cast. The people you work with seem so fun.
Thank you.
What's it like when you guys are on set together?
They are a lot of fun, and thank you for saying that, because I love my cast too. Our cast, I should say mine, like I own it. They're great on set, you know. First of all, they're so talented. I'm surrounded by incredibly talented people. But also I feel like, you know, we're becoming a little family too, and it's so cliche to say that, and you know, you hear actors say that a lot about the cast that they're with, but it's so true. You know, you spend a lot of time together, and we're playing the roles of mom, dad, sister, brother, and I inevitably think that's kind of happening on set too. I definitely am sure that I'm the annoying little sister on set, I'm sure.
Well, I mean, when you and Will are acting together, I mean, the brother-sister thing must come pretty natural to actors. Is that true, or did you have to fight to find that kind of groove?
Well, sometimes I think things are easier than others, or there's chemistry, or there's not. And I feel like we fell into brother-sister mode pretty quickly. Mainly because he's incredibly annoying. No, he's amazing, obviously. But yeah, I think for some reason we can kind of pick on each other, right. You know, and I do kind of feel like he is that golden boy older brother sometimes that he's, you know, that everyone loves, and it is kind of, I think we've stepped into those roles maybe a little bit.
I could see that in the first season. I saw kind of the chemistry between you two being kind of, it seemed to me like it was kind of a good instantaneous kind of fit almost.
Yeah, I think, but you know, I don't know what his family is like, but so I can't speak for him, but my family is like that. We kind of, we pick on each other because we like you know. I pick on my brother because I like him. I love him, you know, he's my brother. So I think, you know, if you come from a family like that and that's your background, maybe it comes a little bit easier to kind of step into those roles. Those roles are written that way, and they're written so well that way that it lends itself to that. So it's fun.
What has it been like when you finished the second season? I assume it finished filming already.
We haven't finished the second season.
Haven't finished yet?
No, we've just kind of started. We just finished episode 6. So we still got a little way to go. Yeah.
So I've always heard that, you know, different seasons feel different because, you know, it's a different vibe when you come back on set.
Yeah.
What has this season felt like, comparatively at least?
Well, for me, I was incredibly nervous the whole first season because this was a new genre for me, doing a live audience. It's kind of like theater in a way, and I hadn't done a lot of theater. So for me, I was incredibly nervous the whole first season. I was having fun, but I was nervous and feeling like I was learning a skill. I still feel like I'm learning this new skill. It's something I don't have in my back pocket. But I feel a little bit more comfortable, and it was exciting to come back with the cast that you enjoy so much to work with. But also we've added a new cast member. We have Sean Hayes in the show now, and he is so fun and wonderful. And I mean, the set was from before, but it's even more jovial than it was. Like, he's just a light. He's just a wonderful talent and a light, and such a generous, kind person that he's added this whole other wonderful element to the show.
Is there something you could tell us even about what it's like working with any particular person?
Well, I can talk about working with Sean in particular, just because, you know, so fresh and new, and he's exciting, and I've never seen. And obviously he knows how to do this genre so well. He did it. Right. He was, I mean, incredible. He was one of my favorite actors on sitcoms ever. So I was ecstatic when he came to do the show. We're so lucky. But he is wonderful to watch because he, just knows how to do it so well. But he comes in and he has like so many ideas. You can see just ideas just bubbling out of him, bubbling forth. So it's fun to watch him, and I feel like I'm learning from him. But also I'm able to enjoy the process of working with him so much too, because he's so good at it. I love working with Nelson Franklin, who plays my husband on the show. He plays Adam on the show, because he is so dry. He is so deadpan and so dry, and he's like that in real life too. So he's constantly like throwing these little jokes away, and it makes me laugh. Reminds me, you know, my husband's kind of dry like that sometimes too. So he's incredibly fun to work with.
That's cool. Yeah. Any chance your husband's going to make an appearance on the show since he's an actor too?
I would love it if he did. It would be really funny to have a show husband, and then a real husband on the show, though. And they're both named Adam, so
oh,
that
that's
would
true.
be
I never thought of that.
incredibly confusing for me.
That's amazing.
But no, yeah, it would be really fun if he did. It would be really fun.
You have to poke them and say,
Yeah,
maybe by the end
Adam,
of the season.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, what made you choose, to go to this format? Because your career, looking at it, you've done a lot of kind of, I'd say dramedy might be the word I'm generally, but this is definitely a nice jump into comedy directly.
Yeah.
What drove you to the show?
Well, I've always loved comedy, and I think growing up, I primarily watched sitcoms growing up. When I was little, or like sketch. Like I watched Carol Burnett reruns like a crazy person when I was little. So I've always been drawn to comedic actresses. And I think that's probably what made me want to be an actor myself. So I've always been drawn to comedy. But yeah, this is the first thing that's really come along that seemed right and that wanted me. They wanted me for the job, so that's a big plus. But I'm really enjoying it. It's fun. It is a very different skill set. There's a very different rhythm to the show. It's almost musical.
Right.
You're kind of setting up moments and setting up jokes and waiting for beats, and it does feel lyrical at times. But it's just really good fun.
Well, the Mother's Day episode, the last season, had such a great up-down kind of movement. I definitely get what you're saying about rhythm for that episode, especially.
Yeah, there is rhythm, and pacing is so important. Like I feel like with single camera shows or dramas, you can sometimes take your time with things and think about the lines that you're about to say. But with a multicam, it's pacing, right. And you're almost thinking on the line rather than thinking before you say something. So for me, and this might just be my experience, I can't speak for all actors, but for me, it's definitely a different process in getting there by show night.
Right.
But it's great. I feel like I'm being challenged every day, so it's
cool,
and that's good. That's good.
And what have you heard? So since the first season, do you listen to fans? Do you listen to critics? Have you heard anything that maybe changed your view for the second season?
Oh, no. I am one of those actors that I don't look, I don't read, and that's for both reasons, because I don't want to be knocked by something negative, but I also don't want my head to explode. So I think it's good just to stay away. No, but I think fans have been very kind. Occasionally someone will come up and say, I really love watching because I understand that brother-sister relationship, and you say things to your brother that I would love to say, but I never think of them on the spot,
Right.
So that's been really great, and I feel like I said, I grew up watching sitcoms, and those were the shows that we watched growing up as a family, and I don't feel like there are a ton of shows, multi-generational sort of shows out there that you can sit down and watch that are kind of safe to watch but fun to watch.
Right.
And I think our show's doing that.
Right.
And also bringing heart as well. So I'm really excited that our show is what it is, and I think it's great for families to watch. I'm glad we're doing that. I'm glad we're making a show like that.
And I like the fact that it's a different dynamic where you're like, there's basically there's a separate couple in the show, and they're just doing their thing, and it offers kind of a different groove to the show as well.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and also the parents living with the kids again.
Yes.
It does offer a different dynamic, but also I think that's happening more and more,
Yeah, absolutely.
Baby boomers are living with their kids, and kids, because of the job market the way it's been, are having to live with their parents a little bit longer and later in life. So I feel like that's been a very relatable thing for people. And I think even those aren't great situations, and being divorced isn't a great situation. No. If you can find the funny in that, if you can find the humor in that, I think people like to do that. I think people like to find the humor in life.
And there does seem to be a heart to it as well, though, which is nice.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I think they always try and if there are lots of scenes where we're kind of at each other, they always tend to be balanced in the way that they write it. So by the end, we've made up and we show each other how much we love each other. And
Right.
and in those jabs, that is how we show that we love each other.
Right. It's true.
And I think a lot of families relate to that.
Yeah.
I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So then, have you had a favorite moment in the show so far, from first season or second season, that it was just like your favorite moment of being on set?
I keep saying it, but there's a couple episodes from season 1 that I loved. The Christmas episode was a favorite for me, and I think because it again harkened back to the shows that I watched growing up, having a big seasonal episode, the grandparents there and no one getting along and things going wrong, and because that's life,
Right.
And I think there's something really comforting about watching that, even though things aren't going the way they're supposed to. There's something comforting in watching that and watching that humor unfold. So that was a favorite one for me. And there was one that was actually a little bit more nasty, but I, as a sister, got really frustrated with my brother, and I was throwing a microwave down the stairs at him, and then I think I threw a refrigerator down the stairs. I mean, like, it was just over the top and dramatic, and I liked seeing that kind of explosion come from Debbie. It was fun to play.
Nice. Well, otherwise, I can't help but ask what you think of where Glee has gone, and, kind of, I guess, as it draws to a close.
Yeah. I know.
What has it been like for you, who, when you were in it before and seeing it now?
It's that, first of all, was such an incredible experience. What an amazing show to have been a part of, and I can't really believe that I was such a part of a big show. Worldwide, it was crazy. The response that we got to that show when it first aired. But yes, they're coming to a close. They're doing their last 13 episodes, and then that's it. It's just so hard to believe that it actually has gone 5-6 seasons. To me, it blows my mind, but it's a testament to how amazing those writers are. But yeah, it's sad that it's going off, but I think it seems like it's, it seems like it's time, and it's time to get closure on the characters, and it's time to wrap up the storyline. And those writers are so great, so they know when it's time to end a show, and it sounds like they feel like now's the right time.
Cool. Yeah. Well, thank you very much, and looking forward to seeing the second season.
Thank you. Yay.